Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Mr. Almighty Lewis back at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the power of silence. Just not having to voice everything, because you see, introverts, we love silence, we love calamity, we love to be in solitude, and we like quietness as opposed to most people. They don't like quietness. They say you should voice everything, and that everything should be voiced and everything should be communication and blah 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 blah. All right, so we're going to be discussing that. But before we do, make sure you subscribe, because I need subscribers. I need more subscribers, all right? I only have like 27 at the time I'm filming this video. Hopefully it's more by the time I upload this video. So, yeah. So subscribe, hit the like button, and comment whether you want me to actually talk about a certain topic. Maybe you want to add on to this video, or maybe there was something you did not like, and you can always comment down below, of course. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the power of silence. So here's the thing. We live in a society that, of course, everybody preaches that you should voice your opinion, that you should always talk and speak your mind and do this and do that, right? You always have to be talking. And that, silence is weird, and that silence is bad, and never find yourself in a place of silence. Never take a break to yourself. Never try to, enclose yourself and all this stuff, right? But the thing is, introverts are all about this. Introverts are all about silence. We're all about just enjoying our solitude, just enjoying our own personal company. All right. And sure, of course, we have a relationship here and there. Maybe we have if you're a guy, maybe you have a girlfriend here, maybe you have work, you have your coworkers, maybe you only talk to one coworker, which is pretty typical. You don't necessarily be talking to everybody, because that's just not how introverts roll, unless, of course, all those people, all your coworkers are introverts. Then at that point, you've hit the jackpot as an introvert, because that's very uncommon. But yeah, or you find an extrovert that's actually really smart, and that they're able to really, maneuver, and they understand psychology, and they understand how to maneuver from people who are extroverted and people who are introverted. And so that in of itself is extremely helpful for an introvert. But here's the thing, the power of silence. So like I said, first let's talk about why people don't like the power of silence. Most people, there's a ton of reasons why you shouldn't be silent. Maybe because you're trying to voice something, you're trying to get something out into the world. Like I said, this is a very social world, so pretty much you're judged based on how well you're able to socialize with others. So pretty much, like, take for example, if you're a guy, woman will judge you based on how well you're able to communicate, how well you're able to really deliver whatever content it is that you have to offer, your value, whether that's in the communication itself with the words, or that's in a sub communication, right? And perhaps, you have the employer, you're trying to get a job. And so, you getting the job really depends on what you say in the interview. And so, words are, involved in pretty much anything if you want to get something. So the reason why people hate on silence is because silence doesn't really get you much. If you go and you just stare at the girl, for the most part, you probably won't get her, unless, of course, you really know what you're doing and you're able to use your sub communication properly, which is not very easy, actually. You have to really practice and train this a lot. But for the most part, you're not going to get her. And if you go to a job interview and all you do is stay quiet and in silence, you don't respond to the questions that are being asked to you, then for the most part, you're not going to get that job either. And so, blah blah blah, left and right, people are telling you you should speak more, you should do more, you should try to be more talkative, be more social, be more this, be more that. Perhaps you have to go up, you have to sell something, you have to do some sort of presentation, and you're really unable to really talk, right? So what happens when you're unable to talk? You pretty much feel like you're sort of unworthy and stuff. And so here's the thing. Yes, this is a social world, and yes, you do need to learn at least some sort of level of social skills. So you do need to be at least competent. So if you're struggling with that, I have a book. I wrote an entire book called From Loneliness to Social Competence. I'm forgetting the titles to my own books, but if you want to read that book, there'll be a link down below so you guys can check out the PDF file where you can read the entire book. Or if you want to listen to the audiobook version, you can find it here on my channel. And so yeah, but pretty much in that book, I pretty much teach you how to go from being someone who pretty much enjoys the solitude, like I'm pretty much saying right here. You go from that and you actually learn to speak at a very decent level, you know, where it's pretty much you become competent. You know, you don't become extraordinary, but you become competent enough to go and actually go get what you want. So if you want to talk to the girl, I'll teach you there exactly, you know, how to actually, you know, do such a thing, you know, how to actually express yourself very genuinely and pretty much let the girl know that, hey, you know what, I don't necessarily enjoy talking. For the most part, I'm in my head, like I said in the previous video, you know, for the most part, I just like to work and this and that. And so it comes off very honest. You know, you don't have to hide. You don't have to tell people that, hey, you know what, oh, I enjoy communication, I enjoy being outspoken and everything. If that's not you, you don't have to pretend that that's you. You just have to gain the necessary skills, a little bit of communication skills, and you have to learn to embrace the fact that you don't like communication in general. You know, you embrace that and you add on some communication skills, and you'll be able to become a very powerful, you know, rock star when it comes to communication. That's pretty much what I want for you. So yeah. So getting that out of the way, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, you should embrace silence 100% and never talk again. Of course not. You do need social skills. I'm not saying that you don't need them, but here's the thing. You shouldn't hate on silence either. Never hate on silence. Silence is beautiful. Silence is something that, especially as an introvert, you need to have silence, because I'm pretty sure you've heard this before from somebody else, or you've heard it, you know, in one of my previous videos here on my channel. But introverts need to recharge. You know, we have like this internal battery that, you know, it needs to get recharged. Once we're out there, we're socializing. Maybe you're at work, you have to constantly be socializing. You know, you ask this coworker for this coworker for that. Maybe you need to go and, you know, give a presentation based on some sort of research project that you had for work or something like that. Or maybe you stepped outside for a cup of coffee and then you saw a really pretty girl and then you had to go and approach her, and, you know, maybe it went well, maybe it didn't, but there was a lot of communication required. You expended a lot of energy there, and so by the end of the day, you kind of need to just recover, and you have to recover through silence, through just not saying anything. You just need to be in complete solitude. Maybe you just watch a video like this one, or maybe you go and you listen to music or something along those lines. You go read a book, some sort of activity that doesn't really involve you speaking or you proactively doing anything besides just, you know, watching or reading or something along those lines, right? Something that's very low stimulating as well, you know, because like I said, you know, the world can be very stimulating, you know, especially, you know, if you hear people constantly talking, that is just like a horror movie right there, because, you know, you're having voices coming to you from left and right, and that can be very energy draining, even if you wouldn't like it to. So which is why, you know, a lot of introverts, you know, when they're surrounded by too many people, for the most part, they'll just plug in some earphones and just pretty much forget about the entire world and say fuck you here left and fuck you right and fuck you out, you know, like and that's just pretty much it, you know. That's pretty much how it works. And so, you know, silence is required. And you don't always have to be saying everything either. So maybe you find yourself in a communication, or somebody tells you something, and, you know, they're sort of pressuring you to actually say something about it. They're telling you, oh, you have to comment, you have to say something about this. No, you don't. You don't have to say anything. You don't always have to say everything that you feel, everything that you think, everything that you're planning. You don't always have to voice those things. You can keep some of those things to yourself if you don't see them fit to be released just yet. You know, think of your communication, think about your the way you speak, you know, all the words that come out of your brain as sort of a product, you know, like each of those words that you're about to say, they're about to say something about you. And so you want to choose those carefully, because each of them are going to represent you in very different ways. And sure, you know, sometimes you might make a mistake. You might use different words that represent you and not the way that you intended. And so you have to, you know, use another word and sort of like, you know, paste that word over the other one, you know, that way, you know, you are seen the way that you want to be seen. And so yeah, so So that's pretty much it, when it comes to that. Don't be afraid of silence. Don't be afraid of just not really necessarily voicing everything, because you don't need to voice everything. You don't always have to be constantly talking. You don't always have to constantly be giving your opinion. You don't constantly have to, whatever it is that you're thinking, you don't always have to voice it. You can always keep it in there and release it at the exact time, because that's part of you, talking in a very calibrated way where everything has a purpose, especially the words that you use. They all have a purpose. They all have a meaning. And so that's the beautiful part about communication as introverts, that is very purpose driven. So for the most part, they don't last very long, because we have a specific purpose. We go there, we do our thing, and we pretty much eject and hope for the best right there, whatever it is that we try to get, right? And so that's pretty much it. So power of silence. Silence is amazing. You need silence, especially as an introvert. So embrace it. Don't be shy about it. Don't be scared about it. If you want to just eject and just put yourself in a place of silence and do your thing in silence, in privacy, then make sure you do it. And make sure you allow yourself to, indulge in that experience, and let people know. If people are always trying to call you and trying to drag you into group gatherings, tell them, I don't want to be part of it. I actually enjoy my solitude. I want to be by myself. And that's perfectly fine. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't, maybe they think you're weird, maybe they think you're crazy, but who cares? Because at the end of the day, that silence is going to make you happy. It's going to give you that inner peace. And that's exactly what you need. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you comment if you have any comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.